Hey guys, my name is Ben Kassam. This is 36 Thrive, and today we are talking about my morning routine that I use on a day-to-day basis. Yesterday we talked about the importance of a morning routine and establishing that for 2016. I figured what better way than to actually walk you through the routine that I use on a daily basis to not only kind of show you what I do, but also give you some tips for yourself if you were to implement one. So it is currently 5:10. I'm trying to make this as authentic as possible. It's freezing in my house. It's early and I'm really tired. But I figured it would be better to do this real than to doll it up, so to speak. So the first thing I do when I wake up, chug a big thing of water. It's 24 ounces. Typically this or 32 ounces is fine. I get super dehydrated when I sleep. I drink a lot of caffeine and I'm pretty active throughout the day. So when I sleep, for whatever reason, I wake up super dehydrated. So the first thing I do every morning, chug a giant thing of water, at least one, and then about an hour from now I'll probably do a second one. The first coffee that I do, I usually have 2 or 3 cups every day, but the first one I'll do is a bulletproof coffee. I'm going to actually show you guys how I make that too. But the key to my morning is making this as compact and as quick as possible. One of the things I struggled with when I started my morning routines, I loved them at first. One of the things I struggled with down the road was having an hour and a half long morning routine before I could work. I try to keep my morning routine to about 30 minutes. Today's going to be a little bit longer because I don't have to work today, so it's going to be about an hour long. But today, typically 30 minutes is my cap. So while my water is boiling, I usually use my journal. So I'm practicing what I preach here. So I think journaling is super important. I have pretty much halfway full. I'm not going to show you exactly what everything says, but I got about half full journal. Each journal entry is about a third of a page to a half a page, and typically I just write about what's on my mind for that day, and then write about something that I need to do that day to be successful, or something that I'm going to do that day that's going to kind of win the day for me. So things that you need to make bulletproof coffee, which I highly recommend, especially if you're going to be doing productive things in the morning. You need Kerrygold butter, grass-fed unsalted butter. So there you go. And coconut oil of some sort works well. I just use, as the lid falls off, I just use regular coconut oil, but it works really well. I do like a daily goal review, excuse me, every morning too. I keep them on my phone. I use an app called Evernote. And so I highly recommend, if you check out the article posted in the show notes, something I wrote a while back called Why You Should Be Using Evernote. But since I always have my phone on me, I can always review my goals at any given time. And so that's super important to me and it's super useful. This works for me. It might not work for all of you. And this is not nutrition advice or diet advice or anything like that. So please take this for what it is and understand that I use it as a means to be more productive and to feel more energized as I work in the early morning. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have coconut oil right here. And this is going to be a little difficult, so I'm going to put you down. So we have coconut oil here. Pour it out. So the first thing that I do when I wake up is I chug at least 24 ounces of water. It's a big one. That's a health one. It's good, so I highly recommend that. Second thing I do is grind coffee and make my coffee. You got to remember, if you're the type of person that wants coffee in the morning, you have to account for these things. Because if you don't account for it, you're going to end up being late for work if you have to get out the door earlier or at an earlier time than I do. And then the morning routine, you're going to chalk it up in your head as this doesn't work. But in reality, it's just because you didn't account for it correctly. So if you need 5 minutes to make coffee, do it. Next piece, I journal. I probably recommend this one the most. One of the coolest things I ever did was sit down in October of 2015 and read my entire first year of journals. And it was just fascinating to see that I forgot about so many things, that I'd written about, but it was just fascinating to watch those again. Goal review. So now I know what I'm doing, my one thing for the day. Goal review on Evernote on my phone. So I just checked out what I'm working on right now, and that also helps me kind of align my one thing for the day or my win for the day to where I need to be, or what I need to be doing. And then last, and this is optional. So typically what I just showed you would be my morning routine. It took me 24 minutes to get all that done, and that's with the videotaping. So that was really quick. Right now, I would typically go downstairs if it were a work day and drink my coffee and get to work. But I'm going to instead spend the first half hour today reading. If it's a work day, I don't read in the morning. I'll read at night before I go to bed or sometime during the day. But if it's a day like today where I really have the whole day open, I'll just get it done first and then I'll go work. I highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Hopefully next time you see my face, I will be more awake than I am right now. Subscribe to the newsletter at 365.com/006, I think, episode 006, and like us on Facebook. Thanks a lot, guys, and Happy New Year.